Article 241 of the Indian Constitution pertains to the establishment and functioning of high courts for union territories. Here's a breakdown of its key provisions. Clause 1. Constitution of High Courts. Parliament has the authority to create a high court specifically for a union territory. Alternatively, it can designate any existing court within a union territory to act as a high court for the purposes specified in the Constitution. Clause 2. Application of provisions. The rules and provisions outlined in Chapter 5 of Part 6 of the Indian Constitution, which deal with the high courts in states, will also apply to the high courts referred to in Clause 1. However, these provisions can be subject to modifications or exceptions that Parliament may legislate. Clause 3. Continuation of jurisdiction. High courts that were exercising jurisdiction over any union territory before the commencement of the Constitution, 7th Amendment, Act, 1956, will continue to have jurisdiction over that union territory even after the amendment comes into effect. This is subject to the provisions of the Constitution and any laws made by the appropriate legislature under the powers conferred by the Constitution. Clause 4. Parliament's power to alter jurisdiction. This clause confirms that Parliament retains the authority to either extend or limit the jurisdiction of a high court of a state to include or exclude any union territory or parts thereof. In summary, Article 241 gives Parliament the power to establish high courts for union territories and ensures that existing provisions for high courts in states apply to these high courts, with room for modifications. It also maintains the continuity of jurisdiction for high courts over union territories post-amendment and affirms Parliament's ability to adjust the jurisdictional reach of these courts. The Constitution of India. Part 8. The Union Territories. Article 241. High Courts for Union Territories. 1. Parliament may by law constitute a high court for a union territory or declare any court in any such territory to be a high court for all or any of the purposes of this Constitution. 2. The provisions of Chapter 5 of Part 6 shall apply in relation to every high court referred to in Clause 1, as they apply in relation to a high court referred to in Article 214 subject to such modifications or exceptions as Parliament may by law provide. 3. Subject to the provisions of this Constitution and to the provisions of any law of the appropriate legislature made by virtue of powers conferred on that legislature by or under this Constitution, every high court exercising jurisdiction immediately before the commencement of the Constitution, 7th Amendment, Act, 1956, in relation to any union territory shall continue to exercise such jurisdiction in relation to that territory after such commencement. 4. Nothing in this article derogates from the power of Parliament to extend or exclude the jurisdiction of a high court for a state to, or from, any union territory or part thereof.